Coming up on the 49ers report, we're going to take a look at the Niners injury report going into Sunday's game against the Lions. Josh Norman spoke with the media for the first time since he signed with San Francisco. Should the Niners sign Larry Fitzgerald? Larry Fitzgerald also loves himself some Trent Sherfield. But first, subscribe to the channel if you want the best 49ers news and rumors right here on YouTube. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers, so join the faithful family and hit that red subscribe button. 49ers injury report for Sunday's season opener against the Lions is out. Let's take a look at it real quick. So Kevin Givens is going to be questionable for Sunday's game. Emmanuel Moseley is doubtful. That's not good news for this 49ers secondary. Somewhat of a surprise here, but he's been dealing with an injury over the last week or two. Javon Kinlaw going to be doubtful against Detroit. Jalen Hurd is out as he continues to try and come back from that knee injury, which has lingered since he suffered that torn ACL a year ago in training camp. Here's the good news, though. Trey Lance not on the injury report. General Manager John Lynch saying he expects the first-round pick to be on the field for his NFL debut on Sunday against the Lions. Maybe we'll see a two-quarterback system from Kyle Shanahan's offense, making it very, very difficult to defend and guard this 49ers offense if you're the Lions. There's also this on the Lions side of things. Taylor Decker, their offensive tackle, is going to be out. He's been trying to come back from an injury this week, not good enough to go. That means that Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, going to be able to be interchangeable pieces along the Niners defensive line and stack up against Penei Sewell, who is the Lions' first-round pick out of Oregon. I like the mismatch going in favor of Nick Bosa to try to terrorize him all day. As for Josh Norman's contract, some new details coming out since he signed with San Francisco on Sunday in free agency. This coming from David Lombardi of The Athletic. He said Josh Norman's 49ers contract, $1.1 million in base salary, slightly over the $1.075 million, which is the vet minimum contract across the National Football League. It's going to be a $200K signing bonus, $200K in total per game roster bonus money, and a $1.41 million in 2021 salary cap hit going against the Niners in the salary cap. And then there are $1 million in additional guarantees that are not likely to be earned incentives. A mouthful there. Basically, if Josh Norman plays and plays well, he's going to make more money if he doesn't, especially if he's on this roster. It also came out as Josh Norman was speaking with the media that the Niners have been in on Norman for months. They've been interested in bringing him in for a long time. We've talked about this on the channel, that they don't have the deepest secondary, and for an all-pro and a former Pro Bowler to come in here as a depth piece, I thought it was a good move for San Francisco, especially considering how little they are paying him. And for Josh Norman, the 49ers were at the top of his wish list. He went on to say, I'm really excited for the first time in my career to be on the West Coast. I'm looking at these beautiful mountains. Josh Norman has spent the majority of his career on the East Coast in Carolina with the Washington football team and the Buffalo Bills. So with some injuries occurring in the Niners secondary, and because the Niners brought in Josh Norman, do you think he's going to play on Sunday as a backup? Get into the comment section. Let me know. Type O for he'll be on the field. Type I for he'll be inactive. I think Norman's going to suit up and maybe get between 10 to 20 snaps on Sunday. Coming up next on the show, I've been asked this question a lot on Twitter and Instagram by the Niner faithful. Always appreciate the Niner Empire reaching out to me, trying to talk 49ers football. They've been asking me, Chase, Larry Fitzgerald is out there. Should the 49ers sign him? Because when you look at the 49ers wide receiver depth chart, they don't really have a wide receiver on the team healthy outside of Jalen Hurd, who is obviously injured right now, who can be a jump ball, red zone wide receiver, who can kind of jump up in the red zone to make plays happen. All of the receivers on the roster are more than 200 pounds, but they're not really that tall. Larry Fitzgerald is that, so he could serve a couple of different purposes. And Jeremy, we'll go to that ranking of where Larry Fitzgerald is all-time on receptions leaders, because it's understandable to see why Niners fans want to bring this guy in. He is behind the GOAT in Jerry Rice on the all-time receptions leaders list. Jerry Rice, throughout his illustrious career, was able to reel in 1,549 footballs. Larry Fitzgerald right behind him with more than 1,400. Tony Gonzalez at more than 1,300. And Larry Fitzgerald was causing havoc against Niners defenses for years in the NFC West against the Arizona Cardinals. But I don't think the Niners are going to bring Larry Fitzgerald in for a couple of reasons. Larry Fitz has said he doesn't really miss football. He doesn't wake up eager to play. And I don't really think the Niners need him on this roster, nor do I think Larry wants to play anymore. He's hitting the golf course every day, doing some media appearances, just kicking it, doesn't want to put his body through the rigors of a full now 17-game schedule in the National Football League. So I'm going to say no. Niners don't need to sign Larry Fitzgerald, and they're not going to sign him. But what do you want the Niners to do? Type S for sign, type P for pass. If you're new to us here on the 49ers Report, we're a very interactive YouTube channel. We love our audience interaction, so scroll on down and get your votes in. NFL season is here. That means it's the best time of year to make some bets. And you can make some bets thanks to our sportsbook partner, BetUS, the presenting sponsor for today's show. If you go to chatsports.com/49bet and enter the promo code Niners125, you get a 125% deposit bonus. Meaning, if you put $100 in your account, you get an additional $125 back, which is a total of $225 to wager with. Maybe you want to take the Niners as touchdown favorites against the Lions on Sunday. But there's that deal and this deal. Do you want a free 49ers jersey? Yes, you heard me correctly. Do you want a free 49ers jersey? This is how we can get you hooked up. Go to chatsports.com/49bet, enter the promo code Niners125. You have to use that link and that promo code. You sign up, you deposit money in your account, you get that 125% deposit back, then you email us jersey@chatsports.com telling us that you put money into your BetUS account. This is for first-time users only. So let us know that you put the money into your account, and once you do that, that's when we will send you a free 49ers jersey. Maybe it's a Trey Lance jersey that you want in your closet. The number 3 overall pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. Hopefully he becomes a superstar so that you can have this jersey forever. All-Pro Fred Warner, he's the best linebacker in the National Football League. Get out of here with that Darius Leonard chatter. Maybe you want an All-Pro Fred jersey or another 49er great, George Kittle. So follow all of those steps. Go to chatsports.com/49bet. Enter the promo code Niners125. Sign up, deposit. Let us know by emailing us, jersey@chatsports.com, that you did sign up. Then we will be able to send you a free 49ers jersey. If you have any questions about this at all, use that same email and hit us up with those questions. We'll be sure to get back to you and walk you through all of the steps. Hopefully I was able to explain all of that in a very simple manner. If not, I think that's your fault. From that to this, we mentioned Larry Fitzgerald on this show, but he actually played with Trent Sherfield for 3 years in Arizona, and Larry Fitz had so many great things to say about Sherfield. And Sherfield's emergence throughout training camp in the preseason has surprised a lot of people because he didn't really do anything with the Arizona Cardinals in his previous 3 seasons. In the regular season, 3 years combined, he was only targeted 48 times. He brought in 28 receptions for 340 yards and 1 touchdown. But early in training camp, he started making splash plays with Trey Lance. And in the preseason, he showed out, he showed up, and he balled out. He was able to put up significant numbers and have some very key plays throughout these preseason matchups. In total, throughout those 3 preseason games, 5 receptions as he burst onto the scene, 156 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a long touchdown pass from Trey Lance that went 80 yards to the crib, and another big play the following game for a 50-yard reception. So to a lot of people, they're surprised that Sherfield has burst onto the scene to the level that he has, on top of the production that he had in Arizona, but also he was really just known as a special teams player and not a wide receiver, a guy who would occupy that gunner role on special teams for Arizona, where he just races down the field on coverage to try to make a tackle. But Larry Fitzgerald saw firsthand that Trent Sherfield is much more than that. And he's capable of doing some great things for this Niners offense, which is what I've been saying for a little while here. I love the potential of Trent Sherfield because of the price that you're paying him, but also after watching him on the field, I think he's the third best wide receiver on this team. We'll continue to explore that here coming up, but let me hit you with this question. Is Sherfield the third best wide receiver on this team? So do you agree with me? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Sound off in the comment section right now. Let your feelings be known on this subject matter because I think Sherfield definitely is the third best wideout on this team behind Brandon Ayuk as well as Deebo Samuel. We'll go to this quote, Jeremy. It's all good. Producer Jeremy doing a great job on today's show. Appreciate all of you for making the 49ers Report a part of your day. As for what Larry Fitzgerald said about Sherfield, he said this: Trent is what every coach dreams of in a player, a man who is immensely talented and has the desire to improve in every facet of his game. He wants to be coached hard daily and held accountable. Trent doesn't point fingers or make any excuses for anything. He knows every single position and is willing to be able to play all of them at any time. His selflessness shows up daily if it's picking up a fellow teammate's plate in the lunchroom, running a decoy route in practice on scout team, or helping raise and mentor his little brother living with him and his wife during the season. He never once complained about the lack of opportunities with Arizona. He was only committed to improving and not allowing the things he didn't control to chip away at him mentally. The 49ers, and this is the most important thing here, are getting a player the team, organization, and community can all be proud of. I personally can't wait for the rest of the league to see what all of us close to him have seen for the past 3 years. Trent Sherfield's contract and this deal with San Francisco, considering the impact that he could have and the role that he could have in Kyle Shanahan's offense, has the potential to be an absolute steal. Undrafted out of Vanderbilt back a couple years ago, hopped on board with Arizona, only has a base salary this year of $920,000, only a dead cap hit of $200,000. That's why I'm thinking that Sherfield, given what I've seen in the preseason and training camp, could be a steal. Larry Fitz continuing on by saying this as the compliments just continued. I will say this, in all of my years of going to NFL practices, Trent sure felt like a normal high-level wide receiver, not some random special teamer. Also, that's what John Middlecoff, a former NFL scout, said about Larry Fitzgerald, Trent Sherfield, as well as Larry Fitzgerald continued to compliment T-Sherf. When I do watch Sherfield, and I know a couple people have said this, and I've said this a couple of times on the channel, kind of gives me Antonio Brown vibes. I think it's his frame, it's the way that he runs, especially how he comes out of the breaks in his routes. I'm excited for that, and I think a breakout season is on the way for Sherfield because this offense is just loaded with so many weapons. And if you're opposing defensive coordinator, like, who do you focus in on? You know that Kyle Shanahan loves to run the football with that outside zone scheme because that offense is so unpredictable. Are you going to have a two-quarterback system with Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo, which also makes the Niners offense unpredictable? Then you have other weapons like Raheem Mostert, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and then kind of behind the scenes, under wraps a little bit, is Sherfield. So I think a breakout season is on the way. I'm interested to see where you guys are at on this. Predict Sherfield's stat line for the 2021 season, with the season kicking off on Sunday against the Detroit Lions. Get those predictions in the comment section. And one more time, we'll be doing a watch party, 49ers versus Lions on Sunday. Come join the party. Live play-by-play, live scoreboard, live stats. I'll be taking your questions throughout. And oh yeah, we'll be drinking some beers as well.